follows, and even so, what's the worst that can happen? I don't understand the rule. Anyway. Tonight, almost live and nearly from Hollywood, it's America Tonight. 30 minutes of big-time TV on the UBS network, broadcasting from the heart of the Quad City area of El Tacoma, El Salud, El Nino, and the city of merchandise, with Mirth Gimble, Martha's surprise sister, with yet another boring story about Howard Hughes, and special guest Melissa Manchester, who will probably be plugging something, I don't know, with the music of Happy Kind and the Mirth Makers. And me, I'm Jerry Hubbard. Hi, everybody. And now here's your host, my Mr. Bart Gimble.
Good evening. Welcome again to America Tonight. I'm Barth Gimble. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. I have suppressed my anger long enough. I did it for the good of the show, but that's the way you get ulcers. I'm sorry. Who parked in my space? I'm not talking to you, ladies and gentlemen. Not you people in the audience. In fact, I'm sorry you even have to hear about this, but someone who works here on the staff parked in my space, okay? And I would like very much for that person or persons, if you're pooling it, to move your vehicle out of my space. Because I had no place to park my mobile home, and it's sitting in front of the loading dock, which is a long way from the artist entrance, believe me, and an even longer way from the artist's self-image. It's also why I almost wasn't here for the start of my own damn show. Now, who's in my space?
Hey, Bart, man, I'm sorry. I was bringing my accordion back from the tuners, and I needed to park close. I'll go move it.
Frankie. Okay, you move it. Good idea. Thank you.
Hey, man, I don't know that you've got two spaces.
Okay. You see, I said to the UBS people in the first place, this is months ago, that I think the American public is ready for a talk show without a band. And I didn't mean to I don't mean to condemn the whole band. Happy you guys do a red ribbon job most of the time. But here's a man who has made the decision to spend 8 hours a day with a keyboard instrument strapped to his body, and he takes up one of the two spaces I have. And I should mention, all right, two spaces, okay, that's because I have a mobile home, which just happens to require a little bit more space than some accordionist's Datsun. I didn't even know they tuned accordions, Frank. I figured when it goes flat, you just sell it to a polka band. Anyway, okay. Enough said, he'll move the car, and that's good. Okay, now maybe you'll understand when you read in the papers around contract renewal time that Barth Gimble is holding out for a chauffeur clause. Makes a little sense, doesn't it? But enough about that. Let's meet a man who thinks that Chauffeur Clause is a horror movie about a deformed limo driver. My co-host and announcer, Mr. Jerry Hubbard. I've got my name on the little stones up there. Barth in one, Gimble in the other.
If they're not going to read no parking, they're not going to read Barth Gimble either. What you ought to do is do what I do. Take the bus over here. You get out, no hassles. I'll sit out there, you know, when they have the side seat and I can put my feet right up on it and I go like this the whole way. You know, and they open up the window and it blows in on me. It's really nice.
And you just sort of relax your mind that way?
That's right, yes.
You can do that in about a block, can't you, Jerry?
Yeah.
My first guest tonight is a very special guest, actually. I think you may even said I wasn't here for the beginning. Did you say she's here or not? I was out trying to park my... Well, at any rate.
I think I announced everyone who was on the show, I think.
Good. You're a good man that way, Jerry. She's almost like family to me because she's, well, as you probably said, she's my sister. It's true that in recent years we haven't been, you know, that close, and I'm not saying it's her fault. But she did choose to stay in Miami when the rest of us went to Fernwood, while my brother was dying on the prongs of a plastic Christmas tree, and my father and his dog were getting hopelessly senile and messy, and
you were going to jail.
oh, whatever, Jerry, it doesn't matter. Anyway, she's here in California. It's probably only a temporary thing because, let's face it, California has plenty of everything except work, okay? Anyway, she suggested if I had her on the show, we could forget our petty little differences after this appearance. We'll be all square on those things. So please welcome my sister, Mirth Gimble. Family resemblance?
We look just alike.
You're the prettiest. You always said you were the prettiest. Have a seat. My couch is your couch.
Oh.
It's like home, isn't it? In a way?
Yeah. You're kidding. Is this what you bought with my money?
Well, I knew you'd be proud, Mirth. So how are things? Unemployment checks still coming in?
Well, for the time being, but I'm hoping I won't need it for long. I had a very interesting conversation this afternoon with General Ungerwitter.
Well, he's the president of UBS Network.
That's right.
Where did you run into him?
In the parking lot.
Wow.
Oh, but it was his fault, and he was very apologetic.
You ran into...
Yeah, well, he offered to do anything he could to help me get established out here. Oh, and by the way, he said to say hello to Mr. Gimble.
Ah.
That sort of shows you where that relationship's at, huh? When the guy, the president of the company, calls me Mr.
Mr. Gimble.
Well, actually, he said he could never remember your first name. Oh, and by the way, he told me to send his personal, warmest greetings to Jerry Hubbard.
Oh.
Oh, and your 13-week contract will be renewed.
Wonderful.
All right, that's great, huh?
That is.
Fantastic.
Barth, I'm afraid he was talking about Jerry.
So one of us will be here anyway.
Well, I was asking the general about this show, and he said no matter what happens to that turkey, Jerry Hubbard has a home at UBS.
Oh, wow.
You know, I think that you're in pretty good with Don.
Wow.
You're calling General Ungerwitter, or whatever you call him, you're calling him Don?
Well, by the time we were halfway through lunch, he insisted.
I'm sure no one wants to hear any more of this,
I
okay?
do.
Especially me. So why don't you just do what you really came on the show for, and let's get it over with, okay?
Oh, well, all right. Well, before I met Don, I was really hoping to get a break as a singer.
Okay, just keep it short, and can't do any harm, I don't think, if it's a short one. And in fact, I'll even sit on guitar, and we can, you know, that $30, we can iron that out right there, just erase it, okay?
Sorry.
She helped once. Okay, please try to welcome my little sister here, Miss Mirth Gimble.
Love, you've gone from me and left behind so many memories. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, clap your hands. Here is my old friendship ring. I can't wear it anymore. Here is some old love letters. I can't stand to read them anymore. Love you got from me and left behind
Just think of sort of the queen of music in America today. Think of sort of the queen of music in America today. Please give a very, very warm welcome to Ella Fitzgerald. No, quite seriously, please welcome the lady who knows the difference between this and Ella Fitzgerald, a wonderful, wonderful person, the great singer, Melissa Manchester. It's a pleasure to see you, Melissa. How is everything?
Well, it's all right now. I'm glad to be here, but it wasn't easy getting in, and I thought I was in the wrong place to begin with.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? What was the problem?
Well, it's nothing. It's no big deal, and it's over. So let me have your first question, and we'll get on
Well,
with
we
it.
still haven't heard your first answer. I want to know what's wrong here. Anytime a big star comes on this show, we want to hear, you know, what the problems are. And the audience certainly wants to hear all the gory details. That's the kind of people they are.
Well, it's just that when I first came here, no one left my name at the parking gate, so I had to park 40 miles away and then walk here with dragging a suitcase and my makeup and everything like that, and I had a hassle getting into the building, and...
Now, wait, that is terrible. I can't believe that. We don't treat people like that.
Well, it's over now. I mean, I was steamed at first, you know, but it's okay.
Someone was supposed to meet Melissa.
Yeah.
When you came in here. Now, was it Gary Guernsey?
I don't know. I don't know who was on.
It's really
Gary
over.
here?
It's over. It's okay.
Gary?
It's
Oh,
over.
wait a minute. I want to get is Gary Guernsey here?
Here, Gary?
Gary, what happened?
Well, I was told to distribute the show rundowns to the crew.
And that's worth $35 a week. What is this? What? You're fired.
Oh, no. Wait a second. No, don't do that.
I'm sorry. It's a matter of principle, Gary. Adios, amigo.
Come on, Gary, be a sport. 86 yourself. You're embarrassing Bard.
No, give him another chance. I feel
No, we're just
terrible for
we're trying to make you feel comfortable
Oh,
now.
no, but
You're putting Barth on the spot. There he goes.
That gopher was supposed to meet you, and that is what gophers are for, okay?
Yeah, but, you know, in this business, things always have a tendency to go wrong, and that's why I came a half hour early.
A half hour early?
Yeah, I always do that.
Well, wait a minute. Uno momento here. Point of order. If you came a half hour early, how was Gary supposed to know that you were out there?
Why didn't you say something?
Well, I tried to, but nobody would listen.
Well, we may have done a great injustice to one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life, Gary Guernsey. Jerry, why don't you go see if you can catch him?
Yeah, right. Let me see. Did he leave yet?
Listen, I'm sure everything's going to be fine. What should we do? You know what I was doing earlier? I was playing music with her, and I would give my right arm to play guitar with you and sing with you. Could I do that?
All right.
Okay.
UBS, we're the best. Remember, we put you before the BS.
Tomorrow night on UBS, The Adventures of Beaver Herb. Yes, warm family drama with Beaver Herb, who lives outside and sleeps with the beasts of nature. In tomorrow's episode, Beaver Herb leads his band of beavers to Oregon, where they eat Bad Phil's log cabin. Beaver Herb, one of your good buddies on UBS.
UBS,
We'll return to Martin Mull and America.
The boy was almost 48 years old. The boy was almost 48 years old. All he'd ever gone to bed with was a cold. And he said to his mama, "Mama, I'm afraid it's true. The only woman that could love me is you." Take it.
The girl could almost drink her age in beer. A couple of cases, give or take a year. And she worked at the hospital.
Hey, lots of people do.
And that's where they fell in love.
Oh, God, I wish that that was true. But they never met. Not even briefly. I know what you thought. You thought that they might. Now, what was the problem? The problem was chiefly She worked the day shift and he worked the night. They never met, not even informally. I know you thought things like this worked out right. Well, no, they never met, not even abnormally. She worked the day shift and he worked the night. And now the boy is almost 59. You ask him, how's it going, Frank? And he says, fine. And what's become of Mama? He says, well, Mama's in a better place. And he points his finger right straight out in space.
The girl is finally chief admitting nurse. Considering what she had for brains, it could be worse. She could have been the victim of the dreaded Asian flu. She could have had to live with you-know-who.
But they never met, not even briefly. I know what you thought. You thought that they might. Now what was the problem? The problem was chiefly she worked the day shift and he worked the night. Now the boy's going to meet his mom.
Yeah.
Natural causes, the bottle, not the bomb. They found him in the dining room. His face was in a stew. They dressed him in a suit of shiny blue.
In that same year, the girl gave up the ghost. The minister said she'd be missed the most. Her patients cried a tear recalling how she signed a cast. The nurse said she found the man at last.
But they never met, not even briefly. I know what you thought. You thought that they might. Now what was the problem? The problem was chiefly she worked the day shift and he worked the night. They never met, not even in spirit. I know you thought things like this work out right. Well, no, she went to heaven.
Heaven, heaven, heaven bound. Yeah.
Holy cow. And he's nowhere near it. She works the day shift and he works the night. Thank you. We're gonna go over and sit down. That's why I turned it way up, so Gary always loved my playing, and I figured maybe that'd get him back here. We're back here on the couch. Melissa Manchester, and for a pleasant change of pace, no Jerry Hubbard. Should look just right somewhere in the alpha. Oh, Jerry, hi, what happened?
I chased Gary out to the mall, way down at the end of the mall, and I lost sight of him. Pretty soon there's a crowd. I noticed a commotion up at the bank, and suddenly I heard a gunshot. Well, it turns out that Gary was a little desperate, you know, and he has some problems with the kids and the wife ever since the accident. And when he left here, I guess something just snapped, and he went into the bank, and he pulled a gun. God knows where he got it from. And, you know, gunfire was exchanged, and Gary's in critical condition. But, c'est la vie, I guess the show will go on. I'm just kidding. I just thought I'd lighten up the atmosphere. You two are bringing everything down with all this sparring stuff.
Jerry, you're talking about human lives. It's nothing to kid about.
I'm sorry.
For crying out loud, Gary is a friend of mine, all right? I love those guys. I love all the Gophers and the Couriers.
Well, I know that. That's why I found Gary. Everything's okay. And I know how you cared for him. So they're all, I've invited them all to appear on the show, and I promised we'd pay them all. Come on over, fellas, and sit down.
I'll be right back after these words. Thank you. Well, we're back. We've worked out everything. Turns out that they don't get full scale, so I don't mind paying them. You guys are the greatest guys in the world. What is your name?
It's Clint.
Clint?
Sam. I'm Gary.
Oh, right. That's... Thanks for finding Gary. That's it. Right. It's been a very emotional evening for me, so I'm going to just say so long.
Tonight, some members of our studio audience will receive the following: classic curves and dittos and Feel the Fit Company. Pants to make every woman feel beautiful in sizes 3 to 13 and 8 to 18. And Lillian Vernon's Catwalk gift certificate. Jewelry, gift stick, pork, personalized items, and things from practical to whimsical. I prefer whimsical. Furnished by Lillian Vernon. And slip your face into something comfortable. Face Quencher by Chapstick. Moisturizing makeup, blusher, and powder.
Tonight at 11 on Monty Python, a quiet, romantic evening turns into total havoc for a young couple about to declare their love. And next, Mod Squad.
Heather MacRae as Mirth Gimble, Alan Solomon as Gary the Gopher, Jesse Aragon and Steve Reich as the other Gophers, and a special guest appearance by Melissa Manchester.